This notion of heart and soul center of light being in the get ready. Yes. Even that song, there's a part of it that personally for me where I have adapted the lyrics, not for anyone to sing, but for me to know something. So this is the way that I'm seeing it, because this idea of us being in the get ready is about, we'll hear the lyrics from that vantage point. I believe in dreams again. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing for us to be in that place of divine creativity? Because, dreams are beyond just thinking. So we call it a dream because it has some extra to it. Yeah, y'all would understand if I said extra. A little something extra to it. It's an expansion. It's something beyond just a thought about, well, wouldn't that be nice? So this idea, this notion of us getting ready to be in a place where what? We believe in dreams again. Where we believe that love will never end. And like the river finds the sea, I was lost, now I'm free. 'Cause I believe in humanity. For me, that's like a huge shift. Where we change our mind about life, about what it means and how it's showing up. We change our mind around our relationship with life and our living of it, or it's living us. However we see that, we see it and we interact and we engage with it from a vantage point of, I can't tell where I end and life begins and where life begins and I end, because we see that sense of oneness. Does that make sense? Yeah. That we're so deeply in the living of life that we can't separate out you from me and him from her and all the stuff, because we're so, because what? I believe in humanity. So some other things can happen under those circumstances. So look, in 1 Corinthians 13 and 12, it says, for now we see through a glass darkly. This is why we're getting ready. Because for all of us, at some point in time, we are seeing through a glass darkly. We're not seeing clearly. We're seeing mirror images. We're seeing, for some, it's like the funhouse mirror. Come on now. But there's an opportunity, because this notion of, but then face to face, at some point it becomes clear. And I realize I'm looking at me. I realize that life is reflecting what I believe. I realize that all of the things that I was afraid of and fearful of, oh my God, it's me. It's my thinking. It's the way I'm being. It's my projections. Does it make sense? Okay, because I'm trying to build something here. I don't know why I come like I'm going to be here for a week. There's this aspect in this scripture also of there's a point in time where I shall know even as I am known. Where I will see me through the eyes of God. Might be an old-fashioned way of saying it. Where I will begin to perceive life in the fullness, the wholeness, the oneness, the absoluteness of it. There's a point in time where I shift from seeing my reflection in a funhouse mirror to seeing the truth of my being. Because I believe in humanity. You see, it has to start someplace. And the foundation of it is so very important. Last week, I shared with you from 300 days, 365 days of richer living. Yes, okay. And we rocked with it. Well, I rocked with it, and it felt like some of y'all were with me. Let me just, because some of y'all may take exception. I wasn't rocking with that, Reb, so let me just say that I was here, I rocked with it, and saw some of y'all rocking with me. Yeah? All right, here we go. So where I was particularly focused is that this get ready is about us bringing ourselves out of darkness, moving from looking through a glass darkly to seeing clearly. This notion from being free from the bondage of fear. We got work to do, y'all. But the good news is we're engaged in it. All right. So we're moving, we're freeing ourselves from the bondage of fear and superstition and want and need and hunger. You know what I mean? Being thirsty in life. In the vernacular. The mind must be what? Riveted. Come on, I'm going to need you to help me out for this trip. The mind must be riveted on freedom, on love, on joy, on health and well-being, on connectedness, on oneness. The mind must be riveted. Yes? Okay. The thought must rise transcendent above anything other than what it is directed to be riveted on. Does that make sense that way? So the mind must be riveted on this and transcend, rise above, supersede in all of the other possibilities. All of the stuff we've been considering before that has held us. See, wherever we are right now, it is literally a function of our thinking and our belief system. And I have often thought that our beliefs are like our congealed thoughts. Because it's not just, sometimes I think in this teaching, if it's not clearly understood, it translates to magical thinking. You know, I was there on Sunday. I caught a whiff of an idea. I thought it for a little while there. And now and so now I'm wondering, why isn't it here? If this stuff works, why am I not living the life that I thought about Sunday before last? And this explains it. Because it was but a thought. Now, the thought is good because it begins with a thought, but the thought is not sufficient in and of itself. That's like saying, I got the seed, why I don't have a tree? Because you just got the seed. And there's so much that must happen between the seed and the tree. And the tree. And your heart's desire, your dream, your vision, there's so much that must happen. You're up to it all. If who you are is the one that has the seed, has the vision, has the dream, you're in like Flynn. You just got work to do, Flynn. Yeah? Okay. All right. So that's like to set us up. But look, in our vision statement, we say, we accept the eternal availability of joy, love, and abundance. And that's true. Joy, love, and abundance is available. And the key would be to accept that availability. But how often do we do that? It's there, but how often do we accept the availability of it? It's there. The more often we do it, the easier it is to access it. I just said something right there. The more often we make a practice, the more often we make a practice of accessing joy, love, abundance, health, and well-being. What is it for you? What is it that you're holding in your heart as your dream, as your vision for now? What is it? Say it out loud. Peace. Freedom, prosperity, provision, divine provision, prosperity. Got it. Self-love. The more often we access any of that in our thinking, in our praying, in our journaling, in our inner mind work, whatever that is, the more often we read about it. Who said that? Yes. The more often we're willing to have that be our entertainment. Thoughts of abundance and peace and health and well-being and freedom and self-love and all of the things that we are dreaming and praying for, the more often we do that, we are like, what, cutting a groove in our consciousness. Let me tell you how simply this thing works and how important it is in our get ready that we understand this. So, while I'm not assigning it, the whiz is good. At the Golden Gate right now, it's good. So my goddaughter and I went last week, and we often, when we do theater, we'll have a meal as well. We'll break bread together, spend some time. And so I said, you're in charge of finding out what restaurant, someplace near the Golden Gate. Did a little search, sent me what it was. Looked at the menu, and I was like, I could make do, but I'd have to take my own croutons. And so I got my croutons, and I got ready to go, because I thought of the things, the Caesar salad would be the one, but I can't eat their croutons, so I thought I'll take my own, and I'll make it better. Then I thought that was my make-do. I realized, as I put my croutons by my purse, I thought this is a make-do situation. So I went, and y'all understand a make-do situation where it's like, yeah, that'll do. I can make that work. And I thought, why am I making it work? They're going to charge us just like it really worked. So I went, and I Googled, and I found something else, and I sent it to her. And then when we talked, she said, well, that didn't show up at all for me. And I said, that's because I eat there all the time. One of my favorite places in the East Bay here was over there and very close. It was about a 4-minute walk from our lunch to the theater. But you see, her list looked entirely different than mine. Why? Because she don't eat there as often as I do. But y'all think I'm talking about algorithms having to do with restaurants and Google searches. I'm not. I'm talking about our lives. It's about what we access on the regular. If I sent you home right now to look at your Google search history, some of y'all would drop to your knees. Be like, Lord, no. Because you'll see immediately the pattern of what you avail yourself to. This is the idea that is embedded in our vision statement. Is that we avail ourselves to joy, love, and abundance. But that might not be what your search reveals. I'm just saying. You know, it don't count if I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So look, this is what, when we talk about manifesting more, when we declare manifesting more in 24, and we say this stuff works because it's true. So we just added that truism just to keep us attentive to the fact that this manifesting more is tied to law. Okay? But I got to say, this idea of manifesting more is going to look different to different people. Because it's going to be directly tied to that algorithm. Manifest more. And you see, it kind of rolls off like, oh, yes. Until you think of what's the more it's going to manifest. Do you understand? It's not like you just grab what you intend to manifest. The manifestation is based on your attention span, on your whatever you were riveted to. What have you been riveted to? Fear and doubt? See, there's a lot. The world is giving us the workshop. It's giving you the master's seminar right now, because if you turn on the television and tune in to just the right stuff, which ultimately will feel kind of like the wrong stuff with the way it makes you feel, you'll tune in and you'll see that you have an opportunity to test this, to see how this stuff works. Whether after riveting your attention to some of the political pundits, and they're brilliant. Many of them are just brilliant in their skill and training and all the things. The question is, can you afford to be riveted to it? Because we know that whatever we're riveted to is going to get us that as an outcome. So look, I thought, well, maybe I can, I'm very visual. I am really loaded on the scale as a visual learner. So that's why we have slides. So we may as well use them. All right, come on. So what I want you to see is this idea of an algorithm just simplified, because I am not an expert. No need to write me, see me later about the details. But just this idea, the very basic idea of how it works. And it's basically, we're talking about input, which is your current, I'm calling them your you patterns. The patterns of you. What are the patterns that currently make up you? Meaning what you do. Your shopping, your dining, how you execute tasks. So it might be odd that this even comes to my mind, baking. So it's anything that there are steps to get to a certain outcome, okay? I remember as a kid, one of my favorite desserts, cakes, was an upside-down cake. And so we had a little Betty Crocker cookbook in my household. Yeah, somebody knows of what I speak. So I got expert at baking the pineapple upside down cake. So much so that I didn't need the little book anymore. The big book, actually. I didn't need the book anymore. And so I would just kind of whip it up at whim. Like, y'all want cake? So I'd whip up the pineapple upside down cake. This particular day, I recall, we had no pineapple. We canned pineapple in the day, and there was usually some. There was none. And I was like, well, how am I going to? There was some fruit cocktail. And I thought, well, you know what? This ain't nothing but ultra perm right here. I know exactly what to do. Drain that bad boy. Put it in the bottom of the pan. And I just have to tell you, it was the special treat. Because they had gotten used to the pineapple upside down cake. But this was something different with the little cherry in the middle, the little fake cherry that comes in a can. Putting that in the middle and making a little, all those things. So the idea here is that a recipe is an algorithm. It's put it together a certain way, you're going to get the outcome. And when you get good at it, you can then do little tweaks to it. But don't tweak till you get good at it. I'm just saying. So look, our input is our self-talk, our trains of thought that congeal into our belief systems, yes? All right. And then it is the law, if you will, the rules for how you do you. What are the beliefs that you have? What are your values? That would be a part of what is that algorithm mechanism. Does it make sense that the way I'm trying to do it real simple, but what I want as an outcome of understanding on your part is that this thing is pretty automatic. What you put in is what you're going to get out. And because we're talking about the ethereal in a sense, we try to act like it don't count. Because I really did have some other thoughts. Yeah, they in there too. They just outweighed by the thoughts that are manifesting. So when we say manifest more, your job is to determine what. Because it could be, I'm not even going to speak it. I'm not even. But y'all know what I'm talking about. You must be very careful, conscientious, focused, and riveted to what you want more of, what your dream, what your heart's desire is, because you could mess around and this time next year, you'll have more of the mess that attracted you to this work. Manifest more is not like a secret magic power. It's to get your attention and have you discern just what is my search history going to be? What's my rivet history going to be? Oh, I hope this is making sense. Because sometimes we're riveted on the fear. We have the desire, but what comes up for us, because we're human, what comes up to us is everything, and this is the way it works. How does life get to be the way it is? It's because when we desire something and we really bring it up full on the screen, what also pops up is every fear, doubt, consideration we have that kept us from that. Because in our desire for it, if that was enough, you'd already have it. But instead, we must each be the mental, emotional, spiritual equivalent to whatever the desire is. And whatever's keeping us from that matched vibration is going to show up. And if you rivet your attention on that, guess what you're going to have more of in 2024? You're going to have more of what scares you spitless. More of what stirs you up. More of what causes your blood pressure to rise. More of what stresses you out. But it's up to you. The good news is we can do this. Emphasis on do. And be. And until we be and do it, we'll not have it. I'm just the messenger. I'm not messing in your life or nothing. So look, the output is based on a forecast, if you will. It's forecasting the future you. So it's like, oh, riveted on this for this long? You must want. And that's how you get that list of restaurants rather than another. That's how you get that group of experiences, those particular people in your life acting in their very people-y way. That's how, because you've been riveted on some of that. Some of y'all get it. I see you getting it, and I hear you, Pam. Look here. I want to just relate this very specifically to what we teach and endeavor to practice. So I want to use our teaching symbol for this, because what the idea I want to plant in consciousness is that we think consciously, and our conscious thought is the law of our lives. Y'all don't hear me. The way that we think, the way that we are as humans, that process is the law of our lives. The way we do that, that controls the outcome. I know we wish it was different. I know you wish it was your practitioner, your coach, when they say their words and you're like, yes, that's it, I'm done. Not so. The law of your life is your conscious thinking, your beliefs, what you stew in, and where every one of us is subject to the law of our own being. Whoever's sitting next to you or across or down the way and the people you love, unfortunately, they can't help you with this. The law of your life is running your life, what you believe. This is why this get ready is so important. Because most of us have to clean up whatever it is we're standing in. And I'm saying standing in, and what I mean is believing in. Whatever we're valuing. And I don't mean what we tell people in the value exercise. I mean what our Google search reveals. And I don't mean Google. I mean your heart search. If you could really do one, an objective one, and just get, what have I been thinking about? What have I been riveted to? If you could really see that, that would be the thing. So looking at the teaching symbol, which is up here, at the very top, we have this symbol, and it's right here, by the way. It's represented right here in the stained glass window. See, this is why you need to come on in here. Because, see, I'm pointing over here, and yeah, see, there it is. Right there. But we appreciate you, which is why we got it up here, too, just so you can see. But the one over there is different. You know, it's pretty in its own stained glass way, and you're going to have to be here in order to see it. So the top of the symbol represents spirit, first cause, universal mind. It also is representative of the intellect. So it means that there is an impression on it. There's a purpose. There's a decision. You are thinking into it. You are breathing into it. It is, and your riveted energetic is giving it purpose.
That's right.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, there's nothing to create. I mean, you see what I'm saying? It is, and it's available. And it's your impressive thought that turns it on, so to speak, gets it going in your specific instance. Okay. I just realized this is a little more complex as I start talking about it, as I was putting it together. Okay, so here we go. And then in the middle is our subjective subconscious. It's the law. It's also the mirror of mind. See, because there is the law in its perfect form, but not for it. The truth is that it operates, it's only revealed to you at the level of your ability to get it. So it's the law, deep and wide, it's everything, but you ain't gonna know about everything. You're gonna know about the part that you can get to. That's why it's the mirror of your mind. It's going to be what you think it is. Because it is everything, all things, everywhere, always present. But to you, it's going to be what you think it is. This is why we're in the get ready. Because we'd already thought it was something. And that didn't turn out the way we wanted. So now we're rethinking. We're thinking again. Yes? All right. All right. So what you believe is how life gets to be the way it is. And that's that middle piece. That's that the law is all, but you don't know nothing about all. You can't even, all is too vast, too infinite. You're never going to experience all. You're going to experience the part that matches your vibration. Yeah, see that? I could see somebody duck right then. Like, oh my God, can I be excused? Because I got work to do. Rev, I don't even have time to sit here in the rest of the service because I need to be busy unpacking, cleaning out some thinking, some believing that I have done for so long that I know that the algorithm that is operating in my life so that I get certain outcomes, the more that I would, based on the right now of it, if we could just kind of project, the more that I'll get in 24, I don't want. So I have work to do so that I can shift that. There's a workshop because I just feel like, Lord, I need to take some questions. We need to have a little activity. There's all the things. So then look, in the lower portion of it, that is representative. You see how the V, so you see how energetically it moves in that direction. And that is where it's coming into form, into particularization, if you will. It's body, it's the effect, it's form. Yeah? It's also the mirror of matter. So remember, we said that early on, or in the law was the mirror of mind. Now you have that mirrored is matter. That's where it simply produces in like kind. How could it possibly be any different than what you had in your mind? Now it's just where everybody can see it. Ouch. Visible to you and everybody else. So this is, in its own way, just like at the very top is the input, at the very bottom is the output. God, I hope this helps, because this is what I've been calling the imaginal act of calling forth your new life. This is how life gets to be the way it is. You're driving. You're in charge. You're responsible. And that's the good news. It may not sound like it right now, but it really is the good news. It really is the good news. Look, when you understand that, I think lesson 8 from A Course in Miracles might land in a different way. Lesson 8 in A Course in Miracles says, my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. And you go, oh my goodness, that's a part of what I got to do. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. If that's the case, I continually am putting the past in the machine for my future. And so I can cease being shocked with the output. I mean, beginning today. You can just cut out that surprise look. I just took the mental equivalence class. And you still are preoccupied with past thoughts, which means you are steadily producing the past in the future. But look at here. Let's do my little people slide, please, somebody. Because I had a different idea to bring you, but I couldn't put it together, and so this will have to suffice, that these past ideas, imagine that some of them began with that little one on the far left. Some of the current concerns, fears, doubts were generated right there. And there's nobody in the room right now who's that age, but sometimes we are reacting from that experience. And then as you move along, our mind is still preoccupied. So my question is, and I'm going to ask you to do this with your little devices or piece of paper or whatever. There was a time when I believed, let's say about health and wellness. Some people come from, maybe families where they feel like generationally they have certain health challenges. Or sometimes health advantages, depending. So there was a time when I believed about my health, my relationships, pick one thing. Now, however, I believe and fill that in. And what I'm hoping you'll do with this is have that be practice. You start from where you are. I used to believe that whatever it was you used to believe, that nobody that looked like you, nobody that came from your family, your circumstances could ever, But now I believe. And maybe it's okay if the now I believe is aspirational. Because we're in the get ready. So part of the get ready is to get ready and prepare ourselves for a different way of being. So you're starting with, oh, well, no, wait a minute. I've done this before. Because there was a time that I believed that I would never be. I'd never have an opportunity. That they wouldn't be, whatever it is. And now I believe. So you're practicing bringing it along. This time next week, you'd have a different setup, even about the same subject. Because last week I believed, and then this week I'm open in a new way to more possibilities. I hope that makes sense. I hope this can be beneficial as a little take home. We're going to make this into a workshop yet, ain't we? Yes, yeah, okay. So look, there comes a point when you know, Valerie Joy, I'm going to need you. There comes a point when you know, without doubt, without hesitation, that you cannot go back to your old life. All right? You have to know that. Because otherwise you'll keep revisiting it. But there comes a point when you got to know it without doubt, without hesitation, that you cannot go back. You cannot be who you once were and also have the new life with new riches. There's not a one of us who hadn't already tried that. This isn't news to you. The only difference is you now see it up on a PowerPoint projected. That's the only thing new about it. You know it doesn't work because we've all tried it. We've tried to live the new while being the old. So I have this idea that there's a lovely chant. We're going to put the words up. Valerie Joy is going to lead it. But I'm first going to ask you to just take a breath. Take a breath and open yourself to this idea of I am letting go.
Of the things that no longer serve me, as I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. You can sing that. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me, as I'm letting go. I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me, as I'm letting go. I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me, as I'm letting go. I am healed, I am made whole. Again, right? I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me, as I'm letting go. I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me, as I'm letting go. I am healed, I am made whole. As I'm letting go, as I'm letting go, I am healed, I am healed, I am made whole. I am healed, I am healed, I am made whole. I am healed, I am healed, I am made whole.
We just breathe that in. Thank you, Valerie Joy. if we're willing to believe, in faith believing, that as I'm letting go, even in the let go, I am healed. I am made whole. Returned to wholeness, a sense of wholeness. My beliefs, our beliefs are demonstrated as our outcomes. This is why they are so, so important. In our daily read, 365 Days of Richer Living, for tomorrow actually, there's an affirmation that I want us to say together. But first I want to let you know that in my mind, I have inserted a piece from A Course in Miracles today, the 21st day. The 21st lesson is, I am determined to see differently. And so to me, this affirmation supports and kind of layers an opportunity within it. Yes? All right. So we're going to recite this together, everyone who's willing. Whenever I invite you to recite, you can sit it out. But you're not going to get it as good as the ones who get in it. I'm just saying, you need to get in the pool and get wet. Come on now. Here we go. I believe. I awake. I awake. I awake. I am alive, awake, and aware. My spiritual eyes are open. Now here's my insert right here. Say with me, please, or after me. I am determined to see differently. I am determined to see differently. As from a long night's sleep, I awake. I want to leave y'all with the awareness that there can be miracles when you believe. It's an if-then proposition. There can be miracles when you believe.